Welcome to Makers Metrics podcast today. And I think today, first, we'll get started with you, welcoming you to this podcast. And I think first, I would like to actually give you a chance to introduce yourself, your company, give us as much detail as possible so that we can set the context for a conversation here.
Sure, Shabir. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and it's great to be talking to you. My name is Ankur Davesar. I am a food scientist, food technologist by profession.
Mm-hmm.
Did my master's in food science and technology in 2002,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was campus picked by Joico at that point in time, which will later became Wrigley's. From there, the journey started. I worked with GSK after that, then PepsiCo, a Frito-Lay's business.
Mm-hmm.
From there, went on to Herbalife, spent roughly around 11 years there.
Mm-hmm.
And having worked roughly 2 decades in the industry, gave me confidence with some other like-minded people, more of friends and brothers,
Mm-hmm.
that we can start something of our own and bring value to the market. So we started a company by the name of Good Nutrition Private Limited. This has existence in India for 1.5 years now. So a brand building exercise is going on. My experience largely has been in and around manufacturing of the products,
Mm-hmm.
part of supply chain, any and everything that goes into the production piece of it, the input side of things,
Mm-hmm.
raw materials, packing materials, vendors, audits, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Converting the raw materials, packing materials, inputs into finished goods, and then storage and logistics part of it. So value chain is what I call it. Supply chain is what you usually hear about. So that's what I have been doing.
Okay, really remarkable. Tell us a little bit more about your company in terms of what exactly you are providing the market at this stage. What's your value proposition? What's your target audience? Uh, Give us a little insight into that.
Yeah, sure. So good nutrition started with a lot of questioning amongst food friends, right? Why is nutrition so complicated? Why do we need nutrition supplements at all, right? If you can get the food right, then why do you need it? Why another company that we should start? A lot of whys.
Mm-hmm.
And the answers to those questions led to development of a plan, and then led to Good Nutrition Private Limited being incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose behind this company is very simple. Simplify nutrition, keep it simple, bring it to people, tell them why they need it, right, and then let them choose the product.
Mm-hmm.
We put customer right at the center of whatever we do. We are the first consumer, the first customer. So every product that we produce, develop, I am the first person to actually consume it along with my family. If I cannot give it to them, without thinking twice, I don't have any right to bring it to the market. And that's the mindset of all the co-founders.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the company came into being. The products we are trying to keep it simple. Food is as simple and complex as you make it, right? The kitchen ingredients are mixed together to create wonderful recipes, and that's how it should be relished outside of your house also. It should be nutritious, it should be nutrition dense, it should restrict calories, because we are not moving that much around, and that's where the calories in, calories out, everyone knows about it, is extremely important. So you need to have the calories are restricted.
Mm-hmm.
And there are deficiencies which are there owing to various reasons. We won't get into that. That's where the need of our products comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to fill that gap of the need versus what's available,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we bring to the market. The intent is that everyone wants to stay younger for longer, right? I should be able to do the same things that I was doing in my 25s to the 35s to 45s to 55s, right? And I should have the flexibility. I should be able to run around with my son when he is a young chap, and then he gets into the teens and then young adults. So I should be able to maintain that healthy living around that growth of the child. And as we age, we cannot stop that. We age in a very healthy manner, right? There should be no restriction that should come physically on your body and whatever has to be done around it, that's what we preach, and we bring our products to support that lifestyle.
Okay. So is this products mainly for adults 40 years and beyond, or anyone at any
Yes.
age can take this? Okay.
Yes, currently we are targeting folks who are, who are working professionals,
Mm-hmm.
who have busy lives,
Mm-hmm.
and who want these nutrition dense foods in their lives, but have a dearth of time. So that's where the convenience kicks in. That's where you get these products which fit into your quick lifestyle, and eventually we are going to expand this to a food and beverage business, right? So we are not going to restrict to this nutraceutical category of products only. We are going to expand beyond this, and the intention is to create a food and beverage brand which is recognized as something good, right? So you don't think twice before choosing a Nestle product.
Mm.
That's exactly how you should be thinking about
Correct.
choosing a good nutrition product.
Correct. Correct. Okay. So tell me the challenges you guys have faced so far in the market while bringing this particular product, right? Because there's a lot of competition as well. So what do you see as as a competition, also competing with your product in the market? Where do you think your product is better than anything else which is out there, or you think it's so unique that there's no competition at all? So what's your thoughts? Share your thoughts on that.
Sure. So I won't talk about competition because they're doing what they're doing, and I believe that whatever is being brought to the market, the customer is wise enough to choose what's best for them,
Mhm.
right? So what we are trying to do differently is we don't want to segregate food into its components. I
Mhm.
don't want to sell fiber separately, probiotics separately, protein separately, carbohydrates separately. You
Mhm.
look at our hero product, which is a smoothie. There are two sources of protein that we use. One is whey, second is soy. It's your choice, whatever you want to choose.
Mhm.
Whey gives you 20 grams of protein per serving. Soy gives you 15 grams of protein per serving. There are 17, 18 vitamins and minerals which are essential for your body. You get some fiber, you get some healthy carbs, you get some probiotics to go along with that. So it's a good balanced diet that you get in
Does that becomes
those.
like a meal replacement essentially?
It can become a meal replacement, it can become a snack, it can become whatever you want it to become, right? People have created recipes out of our product. They have created cupcakes out of it. They
Mm-hmm.
have created a mousse out of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I mean, it's up to your creativity and your innovative mind. You can create whatever you want to do with it, right? Apple was apple as God made it on the tree. We created an apple pie out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's your creativity, whatever you want to do with that product.
Right.
We bring it to you as a source of good protein, right? Which has vitamins and minerals, which has some protein, which has some fiber, which has some probiotics. You do whatever you want to do with that. You want to, blend it into a beverage of your choice and create a smoothie out of it. That's what we recommend. But then you can go beyond and do whatever you want to do with that product per se. So that's what we are trying to do. We are not taking nutrition out of our product and selling it separately. We
Mm-hmm.
are trying to bring every nutrient into that one serving and
Mm-hmm.
offer it to you
Mm-hmm.
to make twice easier. That's what we are trying to do different. Now there is a lot of competition in the market, and the government is doing a fabulous job. I think the FSSAI norms and the way that FSSAI has clarified things over the past 4, 5, 6 years, especially after 2016 when there was a change that was brought about. They're working with the industry, they are working with the consumer protection. They're I mean, they are looking at it holistically. So there are fly by night operators. The category of nutraceuticals, nutrition supplements is growing very well,
Mm-hmm.
and the people who come into the market with some substandard products to make a quick buck, they are not going to stay around for long. People who are in this for the long haul, people who want to build a brand out of it, they are the ones whose offerings are going to be scrutinized both by the customer as well as the regulator, and only the ones which have a honest offering to the market are going to stay in the market. Rest is not even a competition. They are fly by night operators. They will come and they will go away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what my take is on this, Shabi.
Okay, sounds very unique in a way. I think how you guys are doing things. I think right at the start of the conversation, I can see that you have a very much try on yourself, and if it works well, then only give it to others, which I really
Yeah.
like. I think this is a very this category is, you can say, is can be very tricky also, because two things happen here. When customers have it, they want results, quick results. That also is a challenge. And at the same time, as you said, fly by night operators, probably because there is a very difficult, you can say, value proposition to have on this kind of segment of products, because this, I call it as a little luxury. I won't call it luxury, but it is beyond the basic needs kind of a segment, right? This is probably something which, not a layman or a ordinary person will think about. This is, it goes a little bit in semi luxury, you can say, when people are beyond their means. They have more money to spare beyond their roti kapda makan. That's those are the category of people kind of consider this particular product. So I think you are in a way, in a way, it is a semi luxury item. I don't know if I'm classifying it correctly, but correct me if, and also there is this segment where people who are put on a lot of weight and they want to lose weight. So these category, and I think the percentage of people who have it just because it's healthy versus people have it just because of situation, right? There's a big difference. I think people wake up once they are like really put on obesity level and beyond, or that kind of stuff. Correct me if I'm really catching your
No, no,
target.
you are right. You are absolutely right. So I've worked with PepsiCo.
Hmm.
We categorized our products into fun for you,
Hmm.
good for you, and better for you.
Hmm.
Right? Fun for you products are supposed to be have with some restriction. Right? You cannot continue to have chips all day long. Right?
Correct.
They are products you have fun around them. You enjoy the savory snacks, and there is nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Hmm.
The problem is when you overdo it,
Hmm.
right? And there is a Quaker Oat in the same product portfolio with PepsiCo,
Hmm.
which is much better for you, right? So it's a customer choice. Eventually, you are making a choice. Your choice around your lifestyle, which includes food, will lead you either to a healthier aging, or it will lead to the alternative. If you go the alternate route, then the choice is between spending money on correction of what you made a wrong choice earlier, or you go the preventive route. So
Hmm.
the nutraceuticals or nutrition supplements are the preventive route. The curative is obviously the pharmaceutical side of things. So, and both are going to be essentially important. But I think that the lifestyle diseases which we have now, they should not be there.
Hmm.
Right? You just have to make a good choice. And I have made mistakes. I have enjoyed those. I love what I make, and I enjoy a relish it. Right. So when I made chips, I ate them in plenty. They are not recommended in that size, right?
Hmm.
And that leads to weight
So
gain.
just going back to the Pepsi model, right? How do you classify your products? Like you gave me this fun to have, good to have, better to have. So is your product fits in better to have at this stage?
Certainly, certainly, no doubt.
Yeah.
Right? It sits right by Quakers. So I mean, so that's the category if you're categorizing it.
Hmm.
So in that category, it will sit right by a Quaker. So again, what I was saying is that you realize this, right? In Herbalife, we had Virat Kohli as one of our sponsored athletes,
Hmm.
and he once said that I looked in the winner, and the mirror, the guy who was looking back from the mirror into my eyes, I
Hmm.
didn't realize that it was me. I did not identify myself with him, and
Hmm.
that's when it all changed. So that's one tipping point when you realize that you need to make a change. Then it's not a question of whether it's expensive, whether it's not. It's whatever is right to be done at that point in time, whatever the cost is. You evaluate that against the cost in the long run, and then you choose your lifestyle. And within the lifestyle are these nutrition supplement products also.
Right. So
So
I
it's
think the
it's
lifestyle challenges with people are like people are not able to bring that much nutritious foods to the table, right? Because we are somewhere restricted in terms of what all we can bring to the table, isn't it? Like it's not easy to have a very balanced diet every single day. So that's where these supplements or nutrition things are becomes a play a major role, because uh, having a balanced diet every day is it's not practical, I guess, right?
No, there are gaps in your nutrition, right? You
Mm,
need to fill those gaps. The
mm,
body needs those nutrients in the amount that is required, and every person is different. You
mm.
need to find it out for yourself, and then you need to fill those gaps. The gap fillers are what these nutrition supplements are. If you don't have the gaps, you don't
Right,
need the products. But if you have them, what else is the choice that you have?
right. So, Ankur,
Yeah,
now tell us a little bit about your manufacturing facility. What kind of
sure.
how you guys set up? Tell us, go through the challenges you faced while doing this manufacturing facility. What kind of quality control or what kind of procedures you maintain to make sure that your product is top notch. So, give us insights into your manufacturing now.
Sure. So we didn't go into investment into a manufacturing facility. We had wonderful contract manufacturing partners
Mm-hmm.
with us. It's Tirupati Group in Paonta Sahib.
Mm-hmm.
They have a fabulous infrastructure right from start. When you talk about the paper formulas, product development, creating those samples for market testing,
Mm-hmm.
and from there going into commercial production. They have all the capacities that we need, and then their testing facilities, the quality control labs that they have, they're world class. You can get every testing done, whatever is required by the regulator, under one roof. And then we do have our post market surveillance also,
Right.
wherein we pick the product from the market and get it tested.
So with
So
Tirupati Group, they're mainly F&B, right? They help F&B companies, or they just generic any kind of
So
manufacturing.
they have multiple businesses. One of the business that they have is into nutraceutical manufacturing as a contract manufacturer.
Okay.
They produce for almost every company that is operating out of India,
Okay.
right? So Paonta Sahib, again, there are two major manufacturers for nutraceuticals. One is Zion Life Sciences. The second is Tirupati Life Sciences. We went with Tirupati Life Sciences, and they helped us create, worked with us, collaborated very well, and helped us create some wonderful products for the first go round. We introduced 7 products in total in the market tested them, had 80% of customer recall and repurchase,
Mm-hmm.
which is a fabulous number. The industry standard is somewhere around 30-35%.
Mm-hmm.
Don't quote me on this, but that's where it lies.
Sure.
And 8 out of 10 customers came back to us, asked for our products, purchased them again. So that was a great feedback from the market that whatever you have done has been accepted by the consumer. So Tirupati was essential partner in that. The manufacturing facility for nutraceuticals, it's not similar to the food industry. It's very different from the typical food industry that you see. When we talk about food, we still look at fruits and vegetable processing. Some basic shelf life enhancement kind of processes. When we get into the nutraceutical nutrition supplement manufacturing, the facilities are pharma grade because the processes are derived from pharma. So it's a pharmaceutical manufacturing process that produces a food product.
Got it.
Right. So they are sold under FSSAI. They are food products. They are produced in a pharma setup, clinically clean environment. We have access controls. We have gowning procedures, all CGMPs which are in place.
Mm-hmm.
There are testing laboratories, and testing is done right at the input stage. When the material comes in, it is tested. It's released for production. Once it is released for production, there is work in progress, where samples are taken. It's tested again for compliance that the process being followed is correct, and the testing actually qualifies that. And from there, the finished goods are produced. Once they are produced, there is physical, chemical, and microbiological test which happens on that, and then only it is released for market. Another important aspect of releasing to the market is the sensory evaluation. So you can have the best qualified product, but if it doesn't taste right, if it's not something which people want to consume the second time, then it's not going to sell. The customer even now comes for the packaging. The packaging has to be attractive, and they stay for the taste. So these two are essential parts of a product development when you want to produce something for the Indian market.
Mm-hmm.
Cost conscious customers are what we deal with. So the Indian market as such is very cost sensitive. You need to have the product priced right. Discounting is important for them. That unit economics is something which is more of a finance function. Our CFO takes care of that part of it along with our CEO. But we have to make sure that we use the best of the ingredients and still manage to stay within the cost constraints that are put by the finance team. So you were talking about challenging. Is that's one big challenge that we have, that we have to maintain the quality. We cannot deviate on that, but still, offer the product as a at a rightful priced, offering. Other than that, the challenges that we face, especially in the nutraceutical market, is that a lot of raw material ingredients are imported even now,
Mm.
right? There is various initiatives, and there are various Indian suppliers which are now producing and supplying worldwide. So we do purchase from them as well, but still a lot of material is being imported. Whey protein, especially, is being imported, and then it's dependent on
Do you think
cheese
having a
manufacturing.
manufacturing unit around whey protein, if somebody sets up that, will have good demand in India?
See, it will have to be done with some sort of a backward integration, Shabir. So the problem is not just with the manufacturing. The problem is controlling the quality of the product right at the onset.
Mm.
What are how the cows are being kept, how they are being milked, what is being done to the milk, what is the feed which goes into them, you know how do you take care of the because milk is again a precious commodity. You have to move it in a cold chain. How do you manage that cold chain?
Mm.
And then eventually the way processing also, again, that's also
So whey
important.
protein mainly derives
So,
from milk, cow's milk, right?
mostly, yes. So, right from the milch animals, you have to start from there, maintain quality right at the farm, and from there continue to sustain it throughout the supply chain or the value chain. And that's how you can create a Indian way.
Right.
There are companies which are trying their hand at that, and I'm sure that in coming days they will be able to successfully, take some share of the market, and that helps a lot with our supply chain also.
Reducing the pricing also for you, right? To be more competitive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Make it consistent,
From what I
reduce some.
understood, I think you are leveraging Balaji Group, Balaji Life Sciences for your
That's Tirupati,
nutraceutical
Tirupati Life Sciences.
manufacturing, but you're also managing the supply chain yourself, is what I understood. So
So,
the
so
supply
uh, we, we we do, and we have partners again. Shiprocket is what we use their services for our D2C. We are largely into D2C, right?
Mhm.
So that's Shiprocket is our
That's
partner there.
logistics, right? What I mean by supply chain is getting the ingredients which will be used in the manufacturing in at Balaji. Right? So do you also manage the suppliers for Balaji Life Sciences to where to pick?
No, so it's a joint effort. That's the difference between just being a contract manufacturer and being a strategic partner,
Mm.
right? Tirupati is not just a contract manufacturer. They are strategic partners. So the vendor qualification that happens, that is done jointly. Then they place the orders and the inventory is managed by them,
Okay,
right?
so joint
Why? Because
between you and them, right?
yes,
Because
yes,
that
yes.
impacts your quality, that impacts your pricing as well, isn't it?
It does. It does. And that's a joint exercise. Tirupati and we are joined at the hip when we talk about the whole of the process till we take it to the market. And that's, like I said, that's being strategic partners,
Mm.
right? And they have the economy of the scale also. Right now, we're trying to scale up our business. And when we will scale it up to that level, then maybe things will change. But honestly, I don't see them changing. Tirupati has been a great partner, and we would like to continue to work with them.
Right, absolutely. This is really great. I wish this kind of partnerships existed in other industries as well, because most of the times a lot of industries need to, like, contract manufacturing is missing in many industries. Now it started to come over the years,
See,
but yeah.
I would probably take a minute here and share my experience. When you talk about a contract manufacturer, typically what happens is that people do look down upon a service provider today. Also, you cannot do that.
Mm,
You have to make sure that you treat them as equals and
mm,
have fair engagement with them,
mm,
right? Whatever are their legitimate needs have to be met,
mm,
right? It's business at the end of the day. and you have to make sure that each part of the value stream is actually acknowledged, recognized, both in terms of the strengths that that particular value chain has, or the challenges that are there. Typically what happens is that the contract manufacturer's challenge is their challenge to take care of, right? And you cannot just wash away your hands and be ignorant about that. You have to make sure that you acknowledge, recognize, and partner with them to take care of that challenge, right? That's what brings the contract manufacturer and the marketeer together in a much better way.
Mm-hmm.
In nutshell, it's not having a bias against a partner, understanding their legitimate needs, and trying to make sure that they make money while doing business with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, at the end of the day, they are also into the business, right? They are not just to do some charity, when. And there is, why do we call it a value chain? Because there is value addition at each step of the process.
Right.
Whatever value they are adding, a legitimate, reasonable,
Right.
outflow to them has to be made.
Right. Right. Totally makes sense. I think it's a very good thoughts which you're sharing here when it comes to, I mean, not even to contract manufacturing, but even to your suppliers, right? How you deal with them.
100% agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because with them also, like, you need to be very much cooperative oriented. And I think that comes with a lot of experience as well, right? In your journeys, when you realize that if something is broken, because it's interdependent, right? It's not just like one party succeeds, other fails, right? It's a win-win for everyone, right? In the process.
So that's the mindset. You put it absolutely right. Win-win is the mindset that you go in with, and that's what you get then.
Right, right. Right. So I think, Ankur, that's bringing us to an open-ended question. I try to understand manufacturing and some of the products which you have and challenges faced. If there's anything you think we've not covered, but it's really important for you to share, so this is where you want to talk about anything beyond what we have discussed so far.
But I would just probably have one message to the entrepreneurs who are looking at creating a business into manufacturing and otherwise also. Manufacturing is the heart of the process when it comes to goods, right? You take the inputs, you add value into it, and then there is a finished good created.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just look at the process. When you stamp the manufacturing batch code on that, you have an expiry on our kind of products. There is a race to sell the product or it ends up into a waste, right? Do not take any shortcuts while you are adding value. Look at each part of the process as a value stream where you continuously add value to the inputs and create a finished good which has a legitimate need,
Mm-hmm.
right? The customer is paying for that value to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do not compromise on that. Do not take any shortcuts. Sometimes what we do is to make it quicker, cheaper. We tend to disrespect the process. Respect the process, add value, and make sure that your customer pays you for that value.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the advice which I would have for anyone who is looking into getting into manufacturing. It's an exciting part of the business. You every day you have a result coming,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't have to wait. You start your day, and the shift starts at 6 and ends at 5:59 the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So within a day, you get a result. You have your capacities which are installed there. You utilize them, whatever is the capacity utilization after every day. In fact, now it's real time. Every hour you can get it, every minute you can get it. But a day is a good unit to measure.
Mm-hmm.
So you get your results every day. It's a very exciting part of the whole business, and someone who has a keen interest in taking all the inputs, converting them into finished goods, and enjoying while you do that, should consider the business aspect into your entrepreneurial journey, and do not take any shortcuts. The customer will pay you for your value that you are creating.
Absolutely. So very well said, I think, Ankur. So it was really a pleasure to talking to you, Ankur, and really learning from you of how you launched this new brand, Good Nutrition. I think I'm very glad that The initial responses you got has been really good. On behalf of Makers Metric Podcast, I want to wish good nutrition and to your entire team all the best for a great future ahead. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Sabir. It was lovely talking to you.
Same here.
Thanks
Bye now.
again.
Yeah.
Bye now.